How much time is... Arya, Bran, Sansa, Brienne, Davos. There's no Dany. Gendry. Yara, the new Prince of Dorne.
This fate is for our king to decide, or our queen. We don't have a king or queen.
Yes! Sweet Robin Arryn
Those powerful people in Westeros.
are right here.
Choose one.
Rob, this is what I wanted. I was like, are we going to see Robert Arryn? Are we going to see Yara? We're going to see the new Prince of Dorne. They're going to vote for one. Or do they all decide to be independent? Edmure, everybody! Oh, we're getting that Lord of the Ring ending I wanted. Just everybody. Edmure, you're not putting yourself up for vote, are you?
Stories.
Bran.
There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story. Nothing can stop it. No enemy can defeat it.
Can he...
Frank has no interest in women, and he can't guard
I was about to say, can he have any children?
Sons of kings can be cruel and stupid as you well know. This will never torment us.
So who comes after him? Is the question. You have to think about that as well.
That is the wheel our queen wanted to break. Will you leave the second kingdom to the best of your abilities?
Will he become...
From this day until your last day.
Will he become more man, you know? More connected?
Why do you think I came all this way?
He already knew. He already knew.
The brand of House Stark. I say I.
Sansa, what are we doing? What are we doing?
I love you. I always will be a good king. But tens of thousands of Northmen fell in the Great War defending all of Westeros. And those who survived have seen too much and fought too hard ever to make it again. The North will remain an independent kingdom, as it was for thousands of years.
We're really doing this. Are we really doing this? Bran, say something to her. My only
Lord
gripe...
Tyrion,
What do you do with him now?
you will be my hand.
Ooh, your grace. I don't want it.
And I don't want to be king.
Damn. He can't escape
I
it.
don't deserve it.
That's why you should be it.
The world will always know who bastards and great men.
Good God, back where he started.
You
You
shall
shall
take
take
no
no
wife.
wife.
All lands. Father and children.
Good God. All back to that again.
Slowly on the pedals. Sweet Robert in love.
Nice. Nice. So they're leaving. What are the Dothraki doing? I don't know. Damn. I mean, they could still see him. I'm guessing they could go up there at any point. I just...
Come see me now. Castle.
Exactly.
They can't.
You think anyone will dare tell you women aren't allowed?
I think she's going. She's just gonna go.
I'm not going back north.
She's gonna go west. What's
Where
west?
are you going?
West? What's west of Westeros? I don't know.
What's west of Westeros?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Nobody does.
No one knows. It's where all the maps stop.
Damn, it's really over. Well, King Bran, Your Grace. Oh, is she on Kingsguard now? She's gonna not be in the North any longer, or what? Or what is she doing? She ruling Tarth, or Sir Jaime Lannister? Squad for Barristan Selmy. She's gonna write down his great deeds. Nice. She wrote down about what he did for Catelyn Stark's daughters and the oath he kept, and took River Run from the Tully rebels without loss of fight, pledged himself to the forces and men of the North. Nice. Like when Joffrey was like, "Uncle, they left out all your great deeds." Oh, wow. And they pulled the chairs out anyway. So Sam, Davos, and Bronn. Nice.
What's this? A song of ice and fire.
Knew it.
Perhaps most Libro's history of the wars following the death of King Robert. Leave your mention.
Oh, wow. At all. Is that good or bad? So the Battle of Blackwater, what he did to his father, the things he did with Daenerys, none of that's mentioned.
How's the plan?
Oh,
Carry on with this.
BRB.
As you wish, Chris.
Sir Podrick.
Podrick! Sir Podrick! Oh, shit. Hey, if you guys want to really like throw a crazy ending here, are the dead really defeated? You got a White or White Walker out there, a new Night King you want to show us? He doesn't even know anybody north of the Wall or at the Wall, unless Tormund and them are living up there. Maybe Ghost or something. Well, she's Lady of Winterfell like she always wanted, but I don't know, something about Sansa's character the last couple episodes just rubbed me the wrong way for her ending. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Like, I get the like embodiment of like the Cersei and the Ramsay and the Littlefinger, but there was just no I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. Is he actually gonna pet him? That man's missing an ear. Nice. Nice. Who does she have there, though? Like, I mean, I guess she has the Northmen on her side, but she has no, like, trusted advisor, like, no Brienne, no nobody. But does he plan on going back? He could just ride north and they're not going to come hunt him down. The Unsullied aren't going to flip a U-turn, and the Dothraki and the Greyjoys aren't going to come hunt this man down north of the Wall. It's really over. Is that it? That really is it. That is wild to me. I'm gonna see if they have any kind of like after credit or thank you post. I know they have an episode next week where I guess it's some kind of like behind the season bonus episode 7. Still, it hasn't set in that's it. Like, it's gonna. I think it's gonna set in. It's gonna set in next Sunday, when there's no episode. But, thoughts on the ending? I thought it was good. It was good. It wasn't. I didn't feel like there wasn't any bad writing, or there's a couple questions left unanswered. Like, it looks like they did acknowledge that Drogon is still out there. I mean, there's no point of asking follow-up questions because we're not going to get any more episodes. But like, I am curious of like, what he did with Dany. I'm guessing it's kind of like a lot of things I said pre-episode, kind of almost all of them came true. Um, I guess Drogon's just going to be a rogue, riderless dragon for the rest of his days. He'll quadruple, triple in size because dragons keep growing. You know, they don't stop growing. Um, so he's just going to grow and grow and grow. Um, I wish we could see it, but we want to make sure we turn that off. So that's kind of an interesting like story point there. I wonder like kind of what he does. You know, I'd love to get like a spin-off series of like the life of Drogon and just see what that man's doing. I am curious of like what he did with Dany's body. Did he like put it somewhere sacred that maybe only he can get to, or did he dump it off somewhere, or maybe took it back to Dragonstone? It is interesting to me that Dany nor Jon sat on the Iron Throne. I guess kind of my question, I guess another question is kind of what was the purpose of kind of I guess Jon's reveal? If he never really became like the true king or kind of anything like that. He could have been kind of left like as a bastard and maybe just someone that just happened to ride a dragon. And I feel like the story still could have gotten to the same point. But maybe if he never found out about his true heritage, he would have never turned away Dany's kind of like love and affection. Maybe they could have ended up married and he wouldn't have betrayed her. But maybe if he didn't betray her or she didn't go crazy because she still had his love, maybe she never would have burned down King's Landing and we never would have came to the point that we got to. I think it's a shitty, not a shitty ending for Jon, the character, but a shitty ending for like just him. Like he was the one that killed Dany, and he was the one that got punished and kind of exiled out there at the Night's Watch. It's like, man, he finally like broke out of that when he found out the Night's Watch really wasn't what it was advertised to be, from what I guess he got from his uncle Benjen and Ned. Um, Never got to live out his true Targaryen heritage, which I guess is nothing he never really wanted. And it's kind of just sent back kind of where it all started. After everything he's been through, he's pretty much ending out his day. It looked like that look back he gave. It looks like he doesn't plan on going back. Maybe he's just going to live out his days north. Got to see Ghost, which is great. I feel like I was happy with the episode. The only two things were just kind of like what happens with Drogon. I guess he's just going to be out there living life. In the Sansa stuff, like... And the fact that they let that slide. She's like, yeah, the North has lost tens of thousands of men, like, getting our independence back and breaking free from tyrant rule and what we gave to defend the North, and we want to be independent and everything else she was saying. But, like Yara and her people didn't sacrifice in this war, and the Vale didn't lose men, and, you know, everybody else didn't, like, sacrifice or give up stuff. And the fact that they let her take that, the fact that I wanted Bran to, like, you know what? You know, like, say something or do something. So what happens one day if, like, the Prince of Dorne is like, hey, we want our independence. I mean, we're not going to see it. So, like, the only thing we can take is just going to end in peaceful times. The North is just by itself, and Bran rules everything else. But, like, the fact that she was like, I'm bored. Like, why are you talking to... It was just like, Sansa, chill. Maybe some people will like that ending in the North and her kind of, like, being still, like, overly snappy and bitchy, but you know, I just feel like, what are you gonna do when everybody starts asking for their independence? Like, I think Dany said that line a couple episodes. So what do we do when everybody starts asking for their independence? You know, do we just let them go? And I guess Dany kind of indirectly or directly broke the wheel herself, because now it looks like they have a democracy vote. Bran's not gonna, and I think the transition off of Bran will be easy because he won't have any children. Say the next one they vote is Robin Arryn or the Prince of Dorne's next son or whoever. They're going to father children. And when that starts getting into play with like democracy and like influence and like y'all better vote for me, my father or mother was just king or queen, it's interesting to play with. You don't have to worry about that with Bran, you know? Because like Sansa said, he's not going to father any children. But it was good to see Tyrion speak up, and I'm actually surprised Tyrion made it out alive. I think I like it for the story, seeing him and Bronn and Davos and Sam and Brienne kind of at that round table there, the small council. It was just a great interaction to see. Bronn really became Lord of Highgarden. like protector of the Reach. Like that man, he couldn't have gone any higher. Like I think there was only two positions he could have had higher. What Sansa has is like he could be like king of the Reach or king of the East or whatever. Um, or he could have been king himself. This man owns the most fertile land, the wealthiest property. Like wow, that man really had a come up. That was pretty great to see. Seeing Sir Podrick was actually insane. I'm actually shocked to see Brienne kind of like not be, I guess, hand, hand of the queen to Sansa was kind of interesting. Um, I will say I'm very, very happy they didn't have Arya kill Dany. That would have just been no, that would have been too much. So I'm happy they didn't do that. Um, I will kind of say the tone of like the first 20 minutes to the last 45 were so different that until they mentioned Drogon again there at the small council, I totally forgot about Dany. Like that's how wild it was. The impression she made last episode and how quickly she was taken out in the first 20 minutes. And the fact that we didn't see, I guess, the immediate reaction post her death kind of made me disconnect from her even being in this episode and her even dying. I don't know if John admitted to killing her. I'm guess he did because if they walked in on him and they saw a pile of blood, that doesn't mean that he killed. That could be from anything. People could have they just burned everything. That could be anybody's blood. I thought maybe they would cover it up as she flew away on Drogon. We don't know when she's going to be back, and maybe she like never returned, and they use that as like an excuse. But I'm guessing he straight up told them, and I'm surprised they didn't murder him on the spot. Because there's no way he just walks out of King's Landing alive, I thought. So it was interesting to see they had him captured. Sansa was making it seem like we're just gonna like if you guys don't give us Jon or kill like I don't know. Sansa was just leaving a bad taste in my mouth. She's like, if you guys hurt Jon, I was like, if you talk about my brother again, I'm gonna slit your throat. Like, guys, I get it, but like you act like there's not like six nations here. You think the northern forces are just gonna like take over King's Landing and like just run rugshot like over the Dornish and the Greyjoys and the Vale and the Storm. Like I don't. I feel like they were just like exerting this power level that like wasn't there. That was my only problem with the episode. The whole Sansa, the Northern forces, don't talk about it was just eh. Um, but overall, it was a good ending. I got the Lord of the Rings ending I wanted. I will say I was disappointed, kind of the last two seasons, that we didn't see any Mira Reed. I was really hoping for that. Excuse me, I'm a little sick. Um, that would have been great to see maybe Mira show up and like she ends up sitting on his small council or she's not hand of the queen but maybe something protector or on his king's guard or something like that. But it looks like her story was completely written out, kind of like because I know they're loyal to House Stark and they should have been there on the front lines for the battle um, of Winterfell, but it looks like her storyline was completely written out. I am happy though that I said this at the beginning of, if you guys go back and watch part one, we got to see the new Prince of Dorne. We got Yara. We got Robin Aaron. I mean, he got 2 lines in all of season 8, but it was good to like see him. We got Gendry, Lord Edmure. I don't know who that was sitting between Sam and Lord Edmure, because if Edmure's Lord of River Run, I don't know what that guy is, or what his purpose is, and who that guy was sitting on the side of Lord Royce and Robin. But I'm glad that we kind of got that like Lord of the Rings coronation. Everybody comes down to the capital to crown our new king. And I just feel like, man, John's story was just, did he ever have any joy in his life? Man, I feel like his story was just like looking back on it, like that's a sad story. I mean, I guess the joys he had was maybe when he was kind of going up in the ranks up at Castle Black, kind of teaching Ollie and the others how to fight, when he kind of became Lord Commander and kind of retook Winterfell. But like his story was just like, looking back on it, just growing up a bastard and having the majority of everybody, at least if they didn't hate you to your face, at least made remarks or treated you differently. and then going up to Castle Black and everybody thinking you're too good, and then having to betray your brothers and go in and be a wildling undercover, but then betray them and then lose the first woman you've ever loved, and then find out that your father and your brother has been murdered. See your other brother killed in front of your face, hearing about what's happening to your sister, having your home get taken, you having to take it back, battling with the Night King, losing Theon, and seeing Winterfell just laid to ash, having to go down to King's Landing and seeing your men just partake in this like genocide and wiping out of a population, and falling in love with another girl and then find out your true heritage and then find out you can't love her, and then having to kill her and then kill her for the greater good and then get exiled because of it. Like what a tragic story. But maybe that's what he was always meant to be. I don't know who the prince or princess that was promised was supposed to bring the dawn is supposed to be. We kind of left prophecies in the back a long time ago. But yeah, Jon's story comes off a little tragic to me, but maybe that's just me. And yeah, it was just I feel like Dany got it and then was killed so fast. Like it didn't make the impact on me. Seeing Drogon melt down the throne, I guess it was kind of like symbolic in a way. I kind of liked it a little bit there. I don't know if he was going to take on Jon. I kind of would have been okay if he burned Jon right there on the spot, you know? I would have been okay with that too. I didn't know if he was going to ride off on Jon and go live out their days together. But the Targaryens are no longer. They are officially wiped clean. Tyrion wasn't a low-key Targaryen that some people thought. Neither was Gendry. Dany birthed no children, and Jon will birth no children. And the Targaryens are no more. So we lost. Tyrion is still there, but we lost House Tyrell. We didn't lose Tarly. There's still, but for just like thinking of Grant, we lost House Tyrell, Tarly, Lannister, and Targaryen, all from this kind of war here. And that's wild to think about and wild to see. And I want to keep going on, but I feel like there's not much more to talk about because whatever I ask or say is left to interpretation, you know? What happens with Drogon? Is Jon satisfied with where his life has taken him? Does he feel like he did the right thing? Does Sansa feel alone even though she got the North's independence? Does she feel that this is actually what I wanted in the end, like a month from now, a year from now, when like her sister's gone, her brother's gone, her other brother's ruling, her closest and her loyal friend Brienne is down south. Like, even though she has the North, what else does she have, you know? Seeing Robb and Aaron grow up and Yara kind of rebuild Pike and the Dornish kind of come back into the fold, and now does Bronn control the Reach forces and all those Bannermen, and the Song of Ice and Fire that Sam wrote, kind of like the book that Bilbo wrote that Frodo finished, that kind of like ending there, and just like that was kind of the most we got from Bran the whole time, and he already knew that he was going to be voted king, or I guess be crowned king. And that was kind of cool to see. I mean, I'd be interested to see kind of what problems arise, you know, what would Bran actually have to deal with, you know? Maybe nothing major, maybe something major. I don't know. We don't know if there's ever going to be a northern threat, or we find out one day that Dorne wants their independence, and Bronn all of a sudden betrays him. He's like, you know what, I'm tired of this thing. Or Drogon comes back one day and burns everything down. We just don't know. But you think maybe if those came, that's something Bran would see and could be avoided or resolved in a non-confrontational way. And I guess that's kind of where we leave it, where we close the chapter on those 8 and 10 years of Game of Thrones. And yeah, it's kind of bittersweet because it's the most amazing thing I've ever watched, and it's over. And even though we'll get the prequel here, and one of the prequels might be really good or just as good, or it might answer some questions, but like, we're never going to see these characters again, or this story told on screen. Maybe not, maybe they remake the show in 50 years. I don't know. I'll be 70, 80 years old by then. But we're never going to see this story retold in a different way. In the books, you know, we'll see it, but like, to see those pages brought to visuals is something completely different. And I don't know what to say. It's a sad time, you know. It was good, it was fun, it was real, and it was fun, and it was real fun. And yeah, I think kind of the most thing I'm shocked about is kind of the North keeping their independence and Tyrion not dying. That was, I really thought he was, I thought the final switch for Jon would be seeing Tyrion assassinated, but we never got that, you know. And yeah, it's just interesting. If there's anything I left out or anything you guys want to discuss, leave it in the comment section. I can't wait to see other reactors, videos, and all that kind of stuff. And that is the end of Game of Thrones. It is officially over. Can't wait for the prequel stuff. We'll definitely be reacting to that. I think it's supposed to come out in spring or summer next year. And we'll go from there. So I appreciate it, guys, all the support you guys have given me. I think we started reacting on season 4. Maybe it was season 5. So we've done 5, 6, 7, and 8 on the channel. It's been a great ride, fun ride. And as far as up and down as this season was, and no payoff and little payoff and characters won it, just the whole thing in general, the ending was good. You know, it was good. It was believable. And I'm not gonna say it was the best, like, bow and a ribbon on the season, but on the series, I'll take it. I'll leave it at that. I'll take it. I'll take the ending. You know, I'm okay with it. You know, there's always going to be those questions like what happens now, but that could be with any story. Like, you're not going to see what the characters do 10, 20 years from now because it's the end of the story. You know, but I'll take it. And Bran will be a good king. What a way to come up. You know, go from cripple to king of the 6 kingdoms. I feel like there's something else I wanted to say, but that'll be about it. Yeah, that'll be about it. I'm interested in what happens with the Dothraki. They just live in King's Landing now, under whose command, you know? Because some of them are walking around the ports there. We saw the Grey Worms going back to Narth, and that'll be that's some good stuff. Just let me know what you guys think. We could sit here and talk for another hour or so, but we'll leave it at that. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and that's it on Game of Thrones. Yeah, sad times, but as always,